Are you exhausted? If you're watching this video, you probably are. You've been living on high alert, checking his phone, monitoring his computer, trying to control his recovery, and feeling responsible for whether he stays sober or not. You might be thinking that if you just watch him closely enough, manage his triggers well enough, or love him perfectly enough, you can keep him from acting out. I'm here to tell you something that might feel counterintuitive. The best thing you can do for both of you is to detach from his addiction. And no, detachment doesn't mean you don't care. It means you care enough to stop enabling and start healing. Let's start with what detachment is not, because there's a lot of confusion about this concept. Detachment is not abandoning him or your relationship. It's not becoming cold, indifferent, or emotionally unavailable. It's not giving up hope for recovery or refusing to support appropriate treatment. And it's definitely not pretending the addiction doesn't exist or minimizing its impact on your life. Some partners here detach and think it means you should become robots. No emotions, no reactions, no caring. That's not detachment. That's emotional shutdown. And it's just another form of survival mode that will exhaust you. Detachment also isn't the same as setting boundaries, though they work together. Boundaries are about what you will and won't accept. Detachment is about releasing your sense of responsibility for outcomes you can't control. So, what is detachment? Detachment is recognizing where your responsibility ends and his begins. It's understanding you cannot love somebody into recovery, monitor them into sobriety, or control them into healing. Detachment means accepting that his addiction is his problem to solve with professional help, while your healing is your responsibility to pursue, also with professional help if needed. Think of it like this. Imagine you're both drowning and you keep trying to save him while going under yourself. Detachment is recognizing that you can't save a drowning person while you're drowning. You have to get to safety first, and then you can throw him a life preserver, but you can't swim for him. Detachment is emotional and mental freedom from the chaos of his addiction. It's the ability to have a good day, regardless of whether he's having a good day in recovery. It's sleeping peacefully because you know you've done everything you can do, and the rest is up to him and his recovery team. Why is detachment so crucial? First, because attachment to his addiction and recovery keeps you in a state of constant trauma. When his sobriety becomes your emotional barometer, you're essentially giving an active addict control over your emotional well-being. That's not sustainable, and it's not healthy. Second, your hypervigilance and attempts to control actually work against his recovery. Real recovery requires him to develop internal motivation and accountability systems. When you're doing the work of monitoring, managing, and motivating, you're enabling him to stay dependent rather than developing the skills he needs for lasting sobriety. Third, you have your own trauma to heal from. Discovery of sexual addiction creates what we call betrayal trauma. And you can't heal from that trauma while you're constantly re-traumatizing yourself by living in his addiction cycle with him. Many partners resist detachment because they think it means they're giving up or that they don't care enough. Actually, detachment is often the most loving thing you can do. It says, I love you enough to stop participating in your destruction, and I respect you enough to believe you're capable of recovery. So how do you actually detach? It's a process, not a one-time decision, and it requires both internal and external changes. Start with your daily routines. Stop checking his phone, computer, or browsing history. Stop questioning his whereabouts constantly. Stop trying to manage his triggers for him. This doesn't mean you become naive or stop protecting yourself, but you stop taking responsibility for his choices. Develop your own life and interests that have nothing to do with his recovery. What did you enjoy before you discovered his addiction? What dreams did you put on hold while managing his crisis? It's time to reconnect with who you are outside of this relationship. Get your own support system. This might mean individual therapy, support groups like S-Anon or COSA, or trusted friends who understand what you're going through. You need people in your life who can remind you of your worth when you're struggling to remember it yourself. Practice emotional regulation techniques. When you feel the urge to check up on him or manage his recovery, pause and ask yourself, is this my responsibility, or am I trying to control something I can't control? Breathe, ground yourself, and redirect that energy towards your own healing. Set clear consequences and follow through. Detachment doesn't mean accepting unacceptable behavior. It means clearly communicating your boundaries and consistently enforcing them without drama or attempts to control his response. What does healthy detachment look like day to day? It means you can support his recovery efforts without making his recovery your full-time job. You can encourage therapy appointments without nagging him to go. You can celebrate his milestones without making his sobriety your only source of happiness. It means you have your own goals and interests that give your life meaning beyond his recovery status. You make plans with friends, pursue hobbies, focus on your career, or explore new interests, regardless of what kind of day he's having in recovery. When he shares struggles or setbacks, you can listen with compassion without immediately jumping into fix-it mode. You can offer appropriate support without taking responsibility for solving his problems. Most importantly, detachment means you're building a life you can be proud of and enjoy, whether he gets fully recovery or not. This isn't giving up on the relationship. It's making sure you have a strong sense of self to bring to the relationship if it's going to work. Detachment isn't easy, and it's not a linear process. Some days you'll do it well, and other days you'll find yourself right back in the control and monitoring cycle. That's normal. Be patient with yourself as you learn this new way of being. Remember, you can love someone deeply and still detach from their addiction. In fact, detachment often creates space for real love to grow. love that's based on choice rather than codependency, on respect rather than control. Keep in mind the 3 C's of recovery. You didn't cause it, you can't control it, and you can't cure it. Your healing matters. Your peace matters. Your life matters, not just as his partner, but as an individual human being worthy of joy, security, and authentic relationships. Detachment is how you reclaim that life. If this resonated with you, please like this video and subscribe for more content about partner recovery and healing from betrayal trauma. And in the comments, let me know what's one area where you struggle most with detachment. And remember, if you're dealing with betrayal trauma from sexual addiction, consider finding a therapist who specializes in this area. You don't have to navigate this journey alone. I wish you well.